How do you make sure that an exciting and stimulating field trip is really worthwhile for students? How do you turn awe and wonder into learning? It's the Easter holidays, and Head of Geography Deborah Henderson has just arrived in Iceland with a party of 46 students from Weydon School in Surrey.
It's somewhere that's so different from anything else that they've ever experienced. A lot of our children are very well travelled, but they've never seen landscapes like this. And in terms of the geography of what we teach in the classroom, it's just here. It's right in front of you. It's everywhere. It's around us. 231, 32. Lap belts on, please. It's just embarrassing. 46, 46.
In recent years, several high-profile accidents have deterred teachers from running school trips. But the group is travelling with a reputable tour company, and Deborah hasn't been put off.
Because if you do a full risk assessment, and certainly Rayburn Tours provided us with a lot of information as well, it's very different again from being at home, perhaps walking on a path in a New Forest or crossing the road, to actually be somewhere where actually if I put one foot wrong, I'm going to end up in that plunge pool, or I'm going to slip down a volcano. It does actually put them on the mettle bit, which is good.
All right, ladies and gents, we're going to be getting off here. We're at Thingville here.
On the trip with Deborah is geography teacher Mark Sharman.
And a little bit about that. You brief the students well before you actually get off the coach and before you go to places. They know what to expect as well, and actually it's not really a problem. Our head of department's actually been out here before, done a recce of all of the places, so you know what to expect when you get here, and you're also aware that you have to make decisions and change decisions when you arrive, so you're also making on-the-spot checks just to make sure that everything is okay.
We're going to walk down to give you a really close view of it, but be careful, the path may well be quite slippery. There are handrails down, Stanley, and when we get to the bottom, there's some people down that we're not going to go onto that ledge, but it's far too slippery, far too dangerous. Now behind me is one of Iceland's major tourist attractions called the Gullfoss waterfall. What do we call in geography where one particular thing attracts loads of people? Honeypot, well done, honeypot. What effects do you think large numbers of tourists will have here?
Would there be more air pollution? Because with more people coming here, they'd need more transport to take them around.
Loads of people are going to be treading all over the mountains.
You have to build all the hotels for the people to stay in, and you have to organise the tour companies to take them around all the places.
Yeah, okay, brilliant, well done. What do you think has been done, if we look behind us, to actually lessen the impact, A, of having huge visitor numbers, and B, the actual footpath erosion? What can we see?
All the paths leading down have been tarmac to help stop the footpath eroding, and they've had ropes and barriers put so you cannot go on the grass and on the snow to help protect that.
One of the Weydon students, Rachel, is keeping a video diary of her Icelandic learning experience.
When we got there, we went over to the edge, and you could feel the spray coming up from the water. First of all, it was really good. And then we went down, we walked down these steps, and you could see how footpath erosion had affected the mountainside.
At over £600 per student, the Iceland trip costs more than the average school trip. So how does Deborah make it affordable for students and their parents?
So I tend to do the trips every 18 months to give them a long time to save up for, and I start talking about it in year 9, so if they opt for geography they know the trip's available. So they do have a long time to save up for it, and we sort of do it in instalments as well to build it up. I think we need to be ready to go probably by about 9:15. There's definitely a buzz about geography in the school, and particularly that the older ones do talk to the younger ones, they've got younger brothers or sisters, and it is one of the trips that they all look forward to going on.
You're going to run to the front, and you're either going to run to A, which is over here.
It's the first night of the trip, and the learning hasn't stopped yet. Mark is running a quiz with an Icelandic theme.
A or B. What causes the rotten egg smell in the water in Iceland? Is it not Dicky, A, sulfuric acid, or B, hydrogen sulfide? A, B. This is a really tough one. You're going to have to think about this very hard, especially if you weren't in my class. Earthquakes are measured using either of these two scales. A, the Richter scale, or B, the Richter scale. And he's not sure. I think he's liking the Richter scale, but no, he's finally there. Get over there.
It's day 2 and the group are going to the island of Jaime off the south coast of Iceland. They're going to experience an active volcano for themselves. The last time the volcano erupted was only 33 years ago, but perhaps more exciting than that, they're flying there in small planes.
We found that most of them are kinesthetic learners. They like to touch stuff. They also visual learners. They like to see stuff. And so yeah, I think that the majority actually do prefer being out in the open and seeing this.
Tell me what you feel.
Whoa, well hot.
It's really hot. Really warm. Any idea why you think it's warm? It's got nothing to do with the sun. Any idea why?
Just the lava's still cooling.
It is, well done. The lava is still cooling. Even though it erupted 32 years ago, it's still cooling down. And apparently the people on this island lived off the heat of this for the first 20 years. They piped water underneath this and then piped to the people's houses. Now it's not got anywhere near the heat that it had, but we can still feel it very, very warm. And if it wasn't so windy up here, we could actually see steam and steam vents on the way up here. So look out for some on the way back, but it's a shame it's just so windy, but it's incredibly warm, isn't it? Well, that's why field trips are so good, because you actually see them. You see these things close up. You can look at photographs, you can see videos, but until you actually stand in front of one, you actually see where the lava has flown, has spread to, and had a look at sort of features associated with rivers which we've passed.
The trip to the volcano has got the students thinking. So back at the hostel, Mark has set them an exercise. They must prioritise what islanders would do in the event of another eruption on Jaime.
The emergency committee in Reykjavik.
Okay.
I think probably alert the radio and television news.
Right, so get the information out to as many people as possible.
Yeah. You do need to remove machinery from fish processing because that's their main income, that's their main source of income.
And you're going to need the roads to be able to get that stuff out. Because I know it's fairly close, but in that little town area, how would you get it out if you didn't have the roads actually available? So you'd have to keep all of that up and going.
How are you going to be able to clear a road when there's a volcano?
Of ash and things. If it's ash falling down, I presume you'd have bulldozers and things like that.
But is ash a problem for like the big 4x4 things they have here?
Yeah.
Is it a real problem?
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know.
This morning it's off to the world-famous Blue Lagoon for a spot of swimming and to feel the benefits of the geothermal landscape for themselves.
It's really warm and it's like it's relaxing. It's
gritty sand on the floor.
That was amazing. Most of the girls were a bit kind of like, whoa, about the bikinis, but it was fine. It was so hot, it was really nice. And you got to put these like face masks on your face. They were all white and we were all covered in face, and now my skin's really soft, can you see?
Actually, where we're standing at the moment, we're pretty much on the plate boundary where the North American plate is moving away from the Eurasian plate. And what we've actually got is a huge rift valley. So this area, this lowland area down here, it's all basalt lava and it's come out of a shilled volcano. Now there's lots of evidence for the fact that the two plates are moving apart. If you have a look around, you can see all the cracks in the land, all the fissures. That's where the land is being stretched away from each other. There's one thing that I haven't seen here and I want you to look out for, and if you spot it I want you to tell me, because there's something called ropey lava. And apparently where lava comes out of the ground and it flows, and on the surface where it cools down, and then underneath there's still lava flowing, what happens is you end up with a ripple effect on the surface. So I want you to see if you can spot some of this ropey lava, and if you see that I want you to tell me when we head down there. All around here, these are all the fissures and things.
What kind of fish do they have?
No, fissures, where it's stretched apart.
Oh, I thought you were like...
So this is like the evidence of the place moving apart. Oh yeah, that could be it, couldn't it? Let's have a look. That does look like it, yeah. Now, it's often found, though, in a line. You actually find it in a line. Yeah, it does look like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's it, wow. Hey, well spotted. The bits where we stand talking and saying, two places moving apart, there's some bits they pick up on and they love. This is all cooled, but the two places are moving apart and it's stretching it further apart. In the middle is sinking and it's being stretched apart. So you've got two effects, and it's sinking by about 1 millimetre every year, and it's stretching by about 3 millimetres every year. But most of it is actually through when they walk around and they look at stuff and then they ask you questions. And it's something, that's the point they want to learn. It's something they've seen that they're interested in, and that's where the learning actually takes place, when they're asking questions.
And that's really kind of scary, because to think that it's pulling away every year by like a few millimetres each time, it's really kind of bizarre.
It's the last night, and Mark is making the most of the students' enthusiasm by staging a drama competition with a geographical twist.
Either of these two geographical features, or the formation of these geographical features, either a composite cone volcano, and you have to go through the whole process of a destructive plate boundary, including as many geographical terms as possible. Your second choice, formation of a rift valley, you should all know that because we did that today. There's loads of stuff in the book you could have looked at in geographical terms. So I'm looking for things like ropey lava and that kind of malarkey. Go!
Composite cone volcanoes. Two tectonic plates move away from each other, as demonstrated by Dickie and Fiona. Molten rock and ash force their way to the surface, spilling over.
Communicating, working as a team, then physically getting into positions to show different concepts, and everybody else then watching that.
Volcanic bombs and ash are also released. When the main vent gets blocked up, a secondary vent is formed. This is called an active composite cone volcano.
You also have where mistakes were made, people were sort of saying, oh, that bit's not right, and they need to do that instead. So there's learning going on, even where they made mistakes, people were picking up on things and moving things forward. The acting there, absolutely outstanding. I really like the way that you moved the person up and showed all the lava building up in layers. Thing you need to learn, composite cone volcano, destructive plate boundary, two plates moving together as opposed to moving apart. But apart from that little feature there, it's not bad.
Well, it's supposed to be all snowy, like totally covered in ice because it's Iceland, you know. It's like the moon.
They're so excited by it all. It just brings everything to life. I think the smells, being able to touch stuff, going up to the glacier, feeling it.
I didn't think it'd be quite so big, really.
I mean, it would be okay to live here, to see all this fantastic scenery. It'd be amazing, but it would get quite cold.
They are just amazed at the type of landscape and also the culture, because again, it's very, very different. The fact that we're someone that's so remote, so cut off from anywhere else.
It's been a really good trip.
Yeah, it has
good
been.
trip.
It's been amazing.
I'll remember it a lot better.
Yeah,
I think, now.
Yeah, it will stay in my
But it's
memory.
more real. It's like once you've been there, you actually see it real life.
Yeah.
To give your students a taste of Iceland, check out the in-class TV programme called Iceland the Sights, which is available for download on the Teachers TV website.